Perhaps in an ideal starting world, no point along the line would be any closer to the mark than any other, and neither end would be favored by the wind. In real life, this isn't the way it works out. This drawing shows one way of checking to see which side of the line is closer to the mark and which side is more favored by the wind. Go to the middle of the line, luff directly into the wind. If the line is a little forward to your right, then the right side is favored to the mark in terms of distance. If the mark is to the right of dead ahead, the wind favors the right side of the starting line. If the mark is to the left, the wind favors the port side of the starting line. Now I'm going to tell you that most of the time with little boats, the so-called favored side of the line is not really all that advantageous, and here's why. The ponds and small lakes we typically sail in tend to have a lot of eddies, so we get frequent major wind shifts. The first boats to round the first mark usually go on to win the race, and they get to be first around the mark because they played the wind shifts best on that first leg. And a very important part of being able to play those wind shifts is to get free air and free water early in the race. Now I'll let you read the slide. It is a sad fact of life that racing skippers must know the racing rules. The rules are generally simple, although application gets to be quite complex. We don't have time here to do the rules, but I will show you the first three that are sometimes called the fundamental rules of racing. If you do an internet search on racing rules of yachting, you can download the rules yourself along with case studies that help explain them. In the meantime, you can read the fundamental three from the slide. Here we have 10 green starboard tack boats and one lone red port tack boat who must give way to all of the green boats. Not only must he avoid hitting them, he must avoid making them feel they even need to change course. This port tack boat will probably tie up half the fleet and he will be reviled. Green boats 1 and 3 are lured boats and therefore are permitted to hold their courses. They do not have to give room at the mark to boats 2 and 4. Boats 2 and 4 will probably be called for barging. This is not an official term in the rules. It's a common term for what boats 2 and 4 are doing. So here we are at the 2013 Victoria Nationals held in San Antonio. First we'll have B Fleet in the first race. Then the best 4 finishers will move up into the A Fleet, which will race as the second heat. The 2 heats together will constitute a single race. So if you start in the B Fleet and move up, or any boat racing in the A Fleet actually is guaranteed to finish no worse than 20th, ahead of all boats remaining in the B fleet. I have to apologize for the quality of the videos. I tried hard, it just didn't work out too well. Now some information about this starting line and the course. The starting line is going to be from the yellow mark to a narrow blue mark that you probably can't see in the distance.
It's not yet.
The yellow ball is really only about 12 feet from the dock, and to an extent, all the area between where I'm filming from and that ball is a little bit in the shadow, wind shadow of the dock, so that many of the boats you'll see between the camera and that mark won't be benefiting very much from what was actually a pretty good wind at this point. The line was probably about 50 feet long. As you'll see in a minute, it was ample for a 24 boat start. The quality of the skippers in this regatta was outstanding. They had something like 34 of the top 40 skippers entered. I believe maybe one of the top 10 wasn't present, but at least 9 of the top 10 were. It was an outstanding fleet. Among the implications, even in the B fleet, there are going to be a number of really good sailors. So let's just watch some of the action here on this first start.
Go ahead.
The first 4 finishers from the B fleet will now move up and race with the A fleet. Here are the A fleet boats preparing to start. By this time, the A fleet skippers have seen which side of the course is favored. They have some idea of likely wind shifts, and they know that it's probably better to start near the far end of the line.
Nice choice.
We'll see.
1 minute 30 seconds till mark.
The boat in the foreground with the Texas flag is going to eventually win the race, so you might want to keep an eye on his
1
start.
minute 15 seconds till mark.
The boat in the background with the black sails will finish 5th in this race, but 3rd overall in the regatta, and his boat is easy to watch in the start too.
Okay, remember. After the 1 minute mark, you gotta go around the end. What about for the start, Derek? What about him? Dip start,
40 seconds.
no dip start. You gotta go around
This
the
boat
end.
is 09, and he's going to be over early, but he'll be at the far end of the line where he can quickly whip back around and restart as he needs to. He will eventually finish in 6th place in this race.
30 seconds. 15 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
09, over early. Clear. Yellow, starboard. 3, all set 4. The gate is yellow-red.
This is B fleet prior to the start of the second race. While we're in preliminary maneuvering, let me tell you about clusters of boats at the start. Sometimes you just can't help it, but it's good to avoid being caught in a cluster if you can. Not only do you lose freedom to tack if and when you think you might like to, the wind has a terrible tendency to skip over the entire cluster, although those in front do get a little more wind and eventually pull ahead and the cluster breaks up. When the wind is light, it's especially important to remain very close to the starting line. Mother Nature has this terrible tendency to kill the wind about 10 seconds before the start, and you can gain considerably on those not at the starting line if you can be there when the gun goes off.
One minute, 15 seconds till mark. One minute till mark.
Okay, round the ends, guys.
$50 seconds.
Yellow, blue, start.
$40 seconds. $30 seconds. $20 seconds. 15 seconds. 10.
Note that nearly everyone is on starboard tack.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All clear. Hold it up, Bill.
Usually there's quite a crowd at the starboard end of the starting line, but when the other end is possibly a little more favored by the wind, you may find you're able to get a safe start from starboard fairly easily. Of course, that's only the case if the other end is favored, so you're starting at a disadvantage.
Safely. We'll get a course here momentarily.
A fleet for the start of the second race.
They will be going to the same course, 3 to 4 for windward mark. 3 to 4. And then they'll be coming down to the gate yellow orange or yellow red. This is A fleet. This is the end of race 2, I believe. Start.
Eric, it was 2-3.
1 minute, 30 seconds till mark.
Yellow, blue. Yellow, blue. Lights around, guys.
Your radio is just in my field of view.
1 minute, 15 seconds.
Thank you.
till
Yes,
mark.
thank you.
So just don't lean over and I'm okay.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
That's fine.
I'm videoing the start, so it's been going for a minute and a half now.
1 minute till mark.
78 is going to finish second in this race and go on to win the regatta.
50 seconds.
Okay, round the ends, guys.
$40 seconds. $30 seconds. $30 seconds. 15 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All clear. Oh, that's terrible. No. Up. Come on, Chuck.
So it appears that a majority of the A Fleet skippers pick an area along the line where they think they can get a good start. Then, with, say, 20 seconds to go before the start, they sail to the right side of that area, then reach along the line until a few seconds before the start, when they head up to cross the line blowing and going. A danger while reaching along the line is that any boat to your left will be a lured boat. It has the right of way and it can force you over early. So when using this technique, it's probably best to do the reaching a ways back from the line. A relative of this reaching technique that is perhaps safer is to find a little bit of an opening, point into the wind enough to slow down, and sit there until almost time to start. If there's more than just a little wind, within 3 or 4 seconds the boat can be back up to full speed. For an advanced version of the heading into the wind technique, watch the boat with the black sails.
Seconds. 15 seconds.
As I said, backing your boat is only for advanced sailors.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All clear. Oh, that's terrible. No. Up. Come on, Chuck.
That's all, folks.